Hi everyone. So as promised, tip number 3 on how to improve your immune system. And I should have actually taken a poll to see if people could guess what today's topic would be about. And for some people, it is one of their most favorite things in the world. I'll admit, I at times give in to this addiction. For other people, they could take it or leave it, and lucky them. But what I'm going to talk about today is, and you know what? I think I always do this, how to turn this around. Let's see, there we go. Ta-da! Awesome, it worked. So before I go to that side, all of these are forms of sugar. So I've got some date sugar here, some molasses, some beautiful unheated honey from the Okanagan Valley, some Canadian maple syrup, coconut nectar, if you're not familiar with that. It's just the liquid form of coconut sugar, which is right behind, also sometimes called palm coconut sugar. And then I've got dried dates. And in that category, really any dried fruit would go into that. So those are all forms of sugar. Then I should have grabbed my some of my fruit. Fruit has sugar in it as well too. Then I'm going to go over to this other side of the table. And on this other side of the table is, some people will call this white cocaine. This is actually icing sugar that I sometimes keep in my pantry for various reasons. Every now and then I make something that I need it. This is just regular old brown sugar. It might be golden sugar. I can't remember. I've had it a while. I actually had to chip it out of the container because it's hard. And then good old corn syrup. And this is something I've just had in my cupboard. I don't use it. I used to years ago. But yeah, it's good old corn syrup, and it's still there. So these ones over on this side, definitely less healthy alternatives. And people will even say, well, brown sugar, yeah, it can be, if it's from beets, sugar beets, which I don't know if they're doing anymore, but at one time sugar beets were a GMO product, and I don't know if they're doing it anymore because I don't think they had good results with it. Corn syrup, of course, definitely can be GMO because most corn out there is GMO. The only way it wouldn't be would be if it said organic on it. And then, of course, white icing sugar or white sugar is extremely highly processed. So I'm just going to flip my camera back around. Ta-da! That worked. So why am I talking about sugar? Why is that important for, or why can it affect our immune system? It does. And I'm not going to get into the whole controversy around sugar. It's just what it's doing in our body, the things that our body has to do with the sugar to break it down, to process it. So of course our body automatically releases insulin whenever our blood sugar is spiked. And of course sugar, plain old white sugar, really spikes our insulin. But even the good sugars, honey, spikes our insulin, dates, maple syrup, they all spike our insulin. So I'm not going to say that one is healthier than the other. One is definitely healthier than the other because of the way that it's processed. Honey, maple syrup, molasses, coconut nectar, they're all far less processed. I don't have agave in here, but agave is something as well that I don't agree with. It is highly processed, almost as highly processed as regular white sugar. If you're getting organic raw agave, not as bad. Things like yacon, I'm just trying to think of some of the others, stevia, could have put my stevia out, but it doesn't affect our blood sugar in the same way, or at least they don't think it does. So, and I'm not talking about artificial sweeteners at all. and that's a whole different category. So back to sugar. Why does it affect our immune system, or how does it affect our immune system? So our body can process at any one time, for men, approximately 9 teaspoons of sugar per day, and for women, 6 teaspoons of sugar per day. So, and on average, most people, the average again, have about 17 teaspoons of sugar per day. So you can see that if a woman was having 17 teaspoons of sugar per day, then she would be eating 3 times the amount of what her body can actually process in that day. And same with a man, that's almost double of what a man could process in one day. And when our body's processing these things, of course, it's taking it's taking up other reserves, right? And each type of sugar is processed differently as well too. For example, dried fruit is very high in fructose. Corn syrup is high in fructose. That's actually automatically processed by our liver. So we're putting extra stress on our liver, and our liver is important for our overall detoxification. It's taking out all of the things that the body has broken down that says are not useful. When we're talking about glucose, now glucose, that's like honey, white sugar, maple syrup, those things are taken up by our cells very quickly from the insulin, and actually not a reason to, but if you want to have a little treat, the best time to have it is right after you work out, because when we work out, we break down what's called glycogen, which is the energy stores in our body. And when we're done working out, our body wants to build those glycogen stores back up very quickly. So that would be the best time to have a glucose-based treat. Now, how does it affect our immune system? I was trying to find an actual really good study, and there's studies back and forth on different ways. Basically, we know that sugar increases inflammation in the body, and so that is going to have an overall effect on the immune system, right? The immune system isn't going to work as efficiently if it's having to repair inflammation within the body. So if we're eating sugar on a regular basis, on a continual basis, that's what's going to keep our immune system low, because our body is focusing on trying to fight the inflammation that the sugar is causing, as opposed to, just doing what it's supposed to be doing, right? Fighting off bacteria or other viruses. So when we're putting something else in there that's actually going to reduce the body's overall effectiveness of doing the things that it's supposed to do, that's where our immune system starts to come down. So what's the tip from today? Try to reduce your sugar. If anything, stick to, things like I typically use coconut nectar or coconut sugar. Those are sort of my 2 favorite go-tos. One of my favorite little treats to have is a date. So either a medjool or a diglet noor date, and I fill it with a bit of peanut butter, and that's actually a delicious treat for me. I really love it. When it comes to fruit, I try to stick to fruit that's higher in fiber, so that it's a little easier on my body. It's not having the same effect on my immune system, because fiber helps to reduce how quickly our body takes up that sugar. So hopefully you found this tip really helpful, and this is going to be on my page, of course, so you can watch it. And if you've got any questions, by all means, please ask me. I'm happy to answer them for you. So I will continue on tomorrow with another tip. I'm not sure which one I'm going to pick for tomorrow, but there will be another tip tomorrow. So stay tuned, and thanks for your views, and thanks for the comments and the likes. Keep them up. That's encouraging me to continue to do this series. I like sharing my knowledge. Have a great rest of the Saturday, everybody. Bye.